I'm sorry. How am I allied with the Republicans? You have to tell me this first.
You're anti-woke, anti-DEI.
Okay, but that doesn't make me a Republican. I can be anti-woke and anti-DEI without allying myself with the Republicans. I'm not taking a right-wing approach. I'm not one of those anti-woke right-wing people. I mean, they have a really reflexive hatred of DEI and wokeism, but they don't have it for the right reasons, nor do they don't have the right diagnosis or like recommendation for the malaise, honestly. And I'm trying to propose a path forward, which is individual character development and embracing psychology as a blueprint for living. And they're not telling you to do that. I am proposing getting rid of credentialism and replacing bureaucracy in corporate America, like replacing the DEI bureaucracy with like skill-based hiring and actual meritocracy to the extent that we can have it. I mean, there's always going to be bias in hiring, but we can certainly make it a meritorious system, a more meritorious system than we have now. So I take issue with the Republican characterization,
Who do you,
and we will
first of
return
all,
to this.
I just asked if you were allied with Republicans. My question is,
Oh,
who do
okay,
you
okay.
think is more of a promoter of meritocracy, the Democrat Party or the Republican?
Unfortunately, right now it's the Republicans, but in a stupid way, in a really stupid way. Not everything is the fault of DEI, and really irritated that stupid shit is being blamed on DEI, right? Like that
Okay.
doesn't that strike you as ridiculous?
I do think that it's scapegoated in a lot of ways. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure how, like, to what extent, but how about school choice as a means of improving
Okay.
education in America? Are you in favor of school choice? Do
Um,
you know what I mean
I
by
you know
that?
I wasn't once upon a time when I was with Teach for America, but now I might be. I don't know. I haven't kept up with the school choice debate. But I am definitely not for what the Department of Education is trying to socially engineer, and I don't. I may even be with Republicans in the questioning of the need for a Department of Education. Just because I've seen it as a teacher, right? I've seen various levels of departments of education, and they don't appear to me to be useful. I mean, they give out like
So
education gives
we're
out
aligned
grants,
on
right?
meritocracy, or in terms of you and the Republican Party. It sounds like you're aligned on meritocracy. You're aligned on education. Both you're aligned on DEI. What are you not aligned on? It seems like you're allied
Just
with
the
the Republicans.
the indiscriminate taking of the axe to the federal government, like that's just not cool. I'm not okay with it. And there's a lot of other things. Like I actually do fear an economic recession, and I fear that my money is going to be fucked with. And it took me a long time to build up the nest egg that we have, and it's just really frustrating that I might encounter another economic crisis for the second time in 20 years. And I directly attribute that to Trump. I don't want stock market volatility. I'm being fucking middle-aged over here. Like, I don't appreciate the instability, and I feel like he shouldn't be behaving this way. Like he should understand. He had a broad mantle. He had such a high approval rate. Like why is he squandering it on stupid shit? Like I just don't I mean, but
You on
that's
the
because he's petulant and he's a narcissist. That's why.
Okay. Well, if we can move beyond the villainization of Trump, why is MAGA obsessed with cutting federal spending?
Yeah.
The answer is the $36 trillion of debt. That's the answer.
I get it. I get it. But the process by which it is being done is objectionable to me. It needs to be more surgical than that. Like, can we at least keep the I don't know the aid like the chronic illness, like you know what I mean, like the illnesses that we give money towards solving overseas, like that's just a very broad statement. I know I don't keep up with this shit. I don't open the news right now. Like I'm a far happier person because I don't read the news. I don't actually know the specifics of anything I'm discussing right now because I don't no, I don't write about things that are current event like. I write about trends. I don't write about political events. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that is, it's sort of funny. Like, both of the parties, Republicans and Democrats, were complicit over the past 20 years in creating the massive debt, which
Yes.
is really screwing young people, I think. And so they're now attempting to fix that situation, and it's like really hard. It's going to be painful, but I think it's probably the right thing to do over the long run. But was Elon Musk and the tech bros really the right team to like just go in
No.
running and gunning, cutting entire, yeah, I think they probably were a little too reckless and moved too fast. But that's sort of like the mindset in Silicon Valley is like move fast and break things.
I know, but like that's
Doesn't
not
translate
what you
well to the
do.
government, but
Yeah.
I think it was sort of there is a sort of a necessary turmoil, a necessary shakeup that has to happen. I think that it's going to be rough in 2025 and maybe 2026, but I think that some of these pains, had to happen for the to even have a shot at balancing the budget for the first time in like 25 years.
Okay, I don't disagree with the principle of trying to balance the budget. I just don't appreciate having Musk as my unelected president. That's like bullshit. I'm
I
sorry.
elected
I
him.
will sw I will swallow Trump, but I will not swallow Musk
I
being co-president.
but we elected him. I elected him.
Musk?
Yeah.
You elected Musk to be co-president?
Yes. That's correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to go sit on that. I can't even deal with that right
He
now. That's
wasn't.
just too
He wasn't.
much.
It was. It was obviously it was Donald Trump and JD Vance were like the names written on the ticket, but it was clear to everybody in America that they're closely allied with Elon Musk, and so I voted for that.
I Okay, well, I recognize that you may have voted for that. I don't appreciate it. And we will just agree to disagree on that one.
But
I don't
the point is not
I
not
see
whether
him
or
as
not you
toxic.
want Musk. I think it's just recognizing that millions and millions of people voted for Musk to be in
I
power.
do. I get it. I get it. But like he is toxically masculine to me, and I don't deploy the term toxic masculinity easily. To me, it is like a cartoonish thing, right? He is behaving in a cartoonish manner. So is Trump. Like that is like very performative. And so is JD Vance. I mean, shit, I'm not a I'm it's Republicans saying this. Like I saw at least one of our rite of passage like people who is a Republican, I won't name a name right this
Okay.
moment, but like was talking about how Vance is performing masculinity rather than actually being masculine. So I'm not even,
Could
it's
we
not
get
even
some
just me
specifics?
saying this. Huh?
Could we get some specific examples? Like, we
I
said,
don't know. I personally don't. Okay. Trump, yes, plenty of examples, sure. Like he performs a sort of boorish like playground bully act. Like
he's
that's
a yeah,
how many,
he's an entertainer,
that's
and it's sort of childlike, but it is
I
entertaining.
don't like it. I mean, sure,
Yeah,
it's
I
entertaining. He's an
also
insult
think
comic.
I can understand for sure why people don't like Trump. I get that, but what you said about Elon, I am keen to hear
Oh, the
more.
chainsaw thing. Like that just was
Oh,
ridiculous. That was over the top. I mean, come on. Like I don't know.
oh,
I
yeah.
recognize some people like that. I understand some people like that. But every people are allowed to have their preferences in political performance. I don't appreciate it. I don't know. I don't see that as a version of masculinity that I find to be positive, right? Like having a chainsaw is a little on the nose. Sure, surely we can agree on that.
He's not the
The
right guy
ch
for the job.
No, God, no. Oh my God. Okay, so whatever. We'll just leave it at not the right guy for the job.
I
The
want him to come back to
understatement of the
Tesla. To be
century.
honest, like it's sort of. uh,
Yeah, he needs to do what he's good at.
He could have been a behind the scenes advisor, but
He could have.
he's not the right guy to be like the head of Doge waving the chainsaw. Like it's just not just for so many reasons. It really has been hurting his companies. He has like 5 or 6 companies where he's like the CEO, right? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
not only do
His
we need
addicted.
him, we need him to be like contributing to these companies that are very useful. He's not doing that job, and he's doing this other job where he's like scaring people with chainsaws.
Well, he's also he is addicted to attention and it is making him ineffective. And people who are addicted to attention should not be given power because they are easily swayed, right? That's my issue with Trump is his addiction to attention. He is too easily swayed by other people. He doesn't, it's sometimes difficult to, I mean, he doesn't seem to make his own decisions sometimes. And
He is
Musk too,
he is
like
a
he's too
populist.
swayed by the attention.
I think that Trump is more of a populist than Musk is. Um,
Yes, I agree, but Musk especially is very addicted to the attention generated by his shock value. Like that's what he is doing. He is trying to, he wouldn't have bought Twitter if he wasn't addicted to attention. I mean, he is a news story daily. Like he wants that to be the case. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
actually, what? Sorry.
absolutely. I've paid attention for Musk for like a long time, and if he doesn't have a storm around his like PTSD
Yeah.
autistic brain, he needs the storm.
Yes, and that's like fucked up. I don't want a person like that running shit, you know?
Not,
I don't know.
not in the government.
Not at the highest levels of the government. It's too erratic. Like, okay, yes, I move fast, break things, but like, would you trust him with the nuclear codes?
I'm gonna think about that actually. Well, I mean,
I'm not gonna,
I certainly wouldn't trust Biden, right? But
sure, neither would I. We're agreed on that.
I think that Elon was not, elected to obviously like handle the nuclear codes.
I know,
He was
but
elected to
he's
downsize the
adjacent.
government.
But he's adjacent to the nuclear codes. He might as well have them. Like, you think if
No,
you were to
very
ask
different.
Trump
Very
about
different.
the nuclear codes, that he wouldn't give them to him?
Of course
You
not.
don't think?
No, I
Huh.
think this speaks to like the campaign that's been run in the last couple of months around like President Elon Musk, and I think it's overblown. He's there to do a job. He's doing the job. He's doing it extremely aggressively because that's how he does everything, and he's upsetting a lot of the legacy media. He's upsetting tons of NGOs, tons of
I'm
employees.
okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the disruption of the end. You know what? I'm okay with it because I don't think bureaucrats deserve jobs. I don't think like that is a jobs program for, I'm sorry, a lot of the time over-credentialed women who don't have other career prospects, who don't have skills. Maybe you do know this, but like certain jobs you can't get in the federal government unless you have a PhD. It is gated behind a fucking PhD, and oftentimes it's a PhD in some in like a social science field or like something like relatively useless. It's not, some like hard STEM field that they're requiring a PhD in. Like, I'm not talking about NIH, I'm talking about like other agencies. Like, there are levels at which you need a PhD in whatever field you're in, and that level applies to everything. And anyway, it's become a jobs program for people who don't have other skills. I will
You're
say
a fan
that.
of the
Like, not just
mission.
the government, but NGOs too.
So you like the mission of downsizing the government and reducing waste
Yes.
and fraud,
Yes.
but not
Yes,
a
I'm
fan
with
of the
you.
style, not a fan of the chainsaw.
No, not a fan of the speed or the chainsaw or the presentation or anything. Imagine how many people he might not have turned away like me had they not done this in such an erratic manner. Because just think about the fact that I'm with you, other than for the manner in which you did it. The means matter is what I'm saying, and I'm not the only person who thinks that.
Yeah,
And you have a
optics
gettable
are important.
audience. It's not optic. It's like the speed and like what he cut and how quickly he cut it. And then the sending of the emails, like it's just unnecessarily owning the libs. So it makes it impossible, by the way. If I want to defend anything he's doing, I actually can't do that because I will immediately destroy my social credibility. He's making himself impossible to defend, and he should consider that there are actually lots of women who used to vote Democrat. I know at least another one who has a PhD and voted for Trump in a swing state and was historically a Democrat at Gen X. And that just like blew my mind because it confirmed to me that if there's one of her out there, there are many of her out there. In fact, I'm a member of the Unspeakeasy, which is a community started by Megan Down. She's a memoirist.
How does this relate to
Like
Elon? Like you
it,
said,
it it relates to the fact that we want to defend, like women like me would defend the actions were it not for the people carrying them out in the manner in which they are doing that.
okay. So the original question was, are you allied with Republicans? And
No.
it sounds to me like the reason you're saying no is because of the social consequences.
Partially, yes, because the way in which things are happening makes them indefensible, right? He should, they should recognize that more people would be with them if it was a little easier to defend, but it's just not. That's really that's like the middle, right? Like neither party seems willing to claim some kind of sane middle. Like people like me, right? And but there are other women like me too, and there are other men like me. You know, they exist out there. My readership is a ton of people who think like I do.
Yeah, I don't have the specifics around like what they've done. Like I'm not paying as close attention as other people are. I did see the chainsaw. I personally I thought it was hilarious. That I'm kind of like the target audience.
You
Like
are,
I
yes.
know Elon. I know he's having fun. He does these things. Like having fun is like a big part of his style and his philosophy. Um, I didn't bother me at all, but I'm not the one who's getting fired from my job, right?
He seems mentally ill to me, and I just don't want a mentally ill person running the government. That's the other problem. I will forget Trump. Elon is very clearly mentally ill. Like he would you okay, take him away, like someone with his temperament though. Like he doesn't seem fit to run any organization. That's my issue.
Well, the um, his track record suggests that he's actually very fit to run private corporations.
Sure, yes, yes, but
Federal
is
government
he
especially.
is not. I don't know. It doesn't translate. But anyway, okay, I do need to eat dinner now, but this I appreciate that we had a bonus conversation on top of this. I didn't actually expect to have that much to talk about on this particular topic of
Yeah,
do
I
I
all I
ally
wanted to
myself
get
with
to was
Republicans?
other than the chainsaw, was there any other like things what makes him indefensible? There's the chainsaw, but is there anything else
I
specifically?
just there other than the ways in which he is going about it. No, and maybe it does go back to it being socially indefensible for me because I can't get there.
Yeah,
And he also they need to understand that women are far more concerned with whether something is socially defensible or
exactly.
not. And I recognize again that I am above the fray in a certain way, right? Like I don't really care, but professionally speaking, being a Republican has grave, Chris, social consequences. Like you cannot admit, especially as a woman, that you might even remotely sympathize with anything that is happening. And so the fact that I am publicly in video format is kind of crazy if someone
Like
finds.
we'll have to like blur your face.
Yeah, yeah, just I'm disembody my voice, you know.
This
Yeah,
has
it'll
been
be
so
great.
much fun. Thanks for
It
doing.
has, it has. Yes. Thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks
Sounds
for
good.
having me.